you for your smile and your contagious laugh, for always motivating everybody, especially our FEU family. Let's just do it, and they would follow your lead. Thank you. Are we second place? And that's for you. Points. I think you are. You have an exceptional future ahead of you. I will miss you and your incredible voice so much. I think you have such potential with your voice. After last night, it makes me cry. It's amazing voice. I'm so glad that your hometown is in Suttons Bay. You'll always be nearby, and I know you'll visit us often.
From ambassadors to mentors, student council and beyond, you have grown into an incredible leader, and you have truly set an example for all of those around you. We couldn't be more proud of all of your accomplishments here at Leelanau. There are so many, and we really can't wait to see what's in store for you next. And with that, we'd like to introduce Miss Rebecca Colburn.
Hi. You guys are going to have to bear with me. This is going to take a minute. Thank you. Hi, Max. Do I have to take it out? Hi, my name's Rebecca, and I'm a four-year senior here at the Leelanau School. So when I first started writing my speech, I couldn't decide if I wanted to blame all the hardships here I've had on the people around me, because that seemed easiest, or if I wanted to only focus on the positive. But I guess instead I've decided to be honest. I won't stand here and tell you that everything at Leelanau was always sunshine and rainbows, because we definitely had our dark clouds. And it's from those dark clouds that I've learned the most. The last couple weeks I was here, I found that while many people were writing their speeches, the hardest part was finding the medium between good and bad. I believe no matter where you go to school, there will be hardships, but I've learned it's how you handle those hardships that end up meaning the most. If there are two things this school has taught me, it's resilience and acceptance. The ability to stand up when you've fallen, and the ability to accept others and the situation around you. These two qualities are important to have in life. I realize that nothing will ever be exactly the way people want it. No matter how many problems you fix, there's no doubt going to be another. Leelanau showed me that you can't change the people or the situation, and that the only person you have control over is yourself. One thing I admire about the people we're surrounded by is that they show you that falling down isn't something to fear, it's something to learn from, and it's the only way we grow. There are people here who have helped me throughout these hard times, and they've also been there for the happy ones too. They have taught me different things about myself that I would take with me going into college. Okay, this is gonna get hard. Okay, Dylan. Okay. So, Dylan was the first person I met here, and even after a week of having classes together, we were forced to switch out of almost every single class that we had together because we were, and I quote, too much to handle. I don't really know what that means still to this day because I thought we were awesome. But whenever I was with Dylan, it was always a good time. He showed me a side of myself that was carefree, someone that chose to embrace the beauty of nature, somebody who actually liked ice fishing, and the person that was never worried about what others believed. I guess you could say he showed me a grown side of myself that I've now grown to love. One of my favorite memories with Dylan is him tipping the canoe when, I quote, Aaron and I said, "Don't tip the canoe." Thank you for always pushing me when I say don't push me, making me go fishing when I say I don't want to go fishing, being there when I say I'm okay, and just everything else. I know this isn't the journey. The end of our journey is best friends, because you're never going to be able to get rid of me. So when I first started at Leelanau, I was also the only girl. And the day that they told me we were getting another freshman girl was the day I decided I didn't like her. It didn't matter who she was at that point in time. Funny looking back to that memory, knowing that she is now someone who means the most to me. Erin, I am nothing less than grateful for every single moment I got to spend with you. Okay. Erin taught me one of the hardest lessons I've ever had to learn. She showed me that doing what's best for you is okay. That being selfish with your own needs is difficult, but there's no helping others without helping yourself. She held my hand as I made hard decisions to choose my own happiness over those around me. Don't look at me, you're gonna make me cry. Just don't look at me. Erin and I will be attending Kalamazoo College together next fall, so I know this is only the beginning for us, and I love you so much. I guess along with learning how to be selfish with my own happiness, I also learned how to be selfless. This is a lesson that I knew, but was never fully understood until I met Joe Spica. I admired Joe's balance between being selfish and knowing when to be selfless. By being selfish, you open an opportunity to be taken advantage of, and by being himself, Joe has showed me the right and wrong reasons to give yourself to another. By this, I mean showing extreme compassion for someone you love without expecting anything in return, and taking time to choose and commit to those that you're willing to give a piece to yourself. I thank Joe for showing me that selflessness is not always for the wrong reasons, and I thank him for always being selfless with me. Okay, moving on from selflessness, I've also learned confidence, and when it can be used at the right time. I learned this from my FAU brother, Max. Max showed me that being confident in who you are can contribute to a lot to many situations. He assisted me in my journey in finding the balance between confidence and arrogance. I now know the difference. Knowing the difference helped me better communicate with the faculty, my peers, and has made me more self-aware. I thank Max for not only being a great friend, but an even better FAU brother. So for those of you who don't know me, I don't really like crying or expressing any sort of emotions. Well, one day I walked in my dorm and there was Belinda laying on my bed crying. I guess my first instinct was to figure out the cause, but when she told me she didn't know why she was crying, I didn't really understand. I guess she kind of looked at me and told me that she just had some feelings that needed to be expressed. Looking at her and watching her show these feelings without a second thought about what others around her would think was something I found incredible. She's crying right now, see? I guess you could say the lesson Belinda taught me is that expressing feelings is more brave than keeping them inside. From then on, whenever I needed to cry, I knew it was something I just needed to let out, I did. And when I began to do that, life got a bit easier. I realized that people who truly love you won't see crying as a weakness. Belinda is someone I know who is beyond her, way ahead of her age. And even though I've only known her for 2 years, she's become like a sister. Oh, this is hard. Okay. And I know she will do great things in her last years here at Leelanau. And I'm so proud of her. So thank you, Belinda. Okay, I'm taking a break. Although each and every single one of those people have taught me something about myself, there's one person here who probably deserves the biggest thank you. John. I'm already crying. There's so many lessons I've learned from you, and so much you helped me realize about myself. Oh my God. I told you I don't like crying. Okay. One of the lessons that you taught me is to believe in who I am as a person and embrace all of my qualities. The second thing you've taught me is strength. You've been my best friend for the past year and a half, so I know the things that you have been through and bounced back from. Your strength is something to not only be admired by me, but it's something to be admired by everyone. I know no matter what life throws at you, you are capable of overcoming any challenge. These past few years, you've not only been my best friend, but you've been my rock. I could stand here and tell you what I'd hope the future would hold for us, but I honestly don't know. But what I do know, and what I do promise, is that no matter where we end up, I hope you'll always be a part of my life. The University of Denver is lucky to have you there, and I know you'll do great things. Knowing that my peers have taught me many lessons, there's also faculty and family. Now, there's one faculty member that you can all probably guess who deserves the biggest thank you. Kaz. I don't know where you are, but I don't know if I looked at you if I could take you seriously after you shaved. I can't. Why'd you do that now? showed me that perspective is everything. And as much as I willed against it, you showed me that my perspective isn't the only one to take into consideration. Every time I was angry, mad, sad, or confused, you were there to help me see every side of the situation. It feels as if a thank you is not enough to express my appreciation, but for right now, I'll have to do. I know I will be back to see you, and this is not goodbye. Miss Blondia, Miss Firestone, Miss Parker, and Miss Crimmins. The four of you are the most compassionate, strong, and independent female role models I have ever had in my life. I thank each and every one of you for showing me every single day that compassion is given for free, but respect is something that needs to be earned. Although I faced hardships here, I faced many at home as well. My freshman year, my grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's. This was something hard to go through, but thankfully my family was there. I still admire my grandmother's strength during that time because it was something to be admired. When I was younger, I used to always wish, too, that I didn't have any brothers. I wished I was an only child because I felt as if it would make my life easier. Little did I know my brothers would help me so much through my next hardships. I guess the next hardship that happened my sophomore year when my parents began to get divorced the summer before my junior year. I can't say I was necessarily shocked, but it didn't mean it was anything less difficult to go through. The thing that made it better was that I never felt alone. I had two people that always knew what I was going through. My brothers and I have gotten closer over the years, and now I can honestly say I thank God for them every single day. Hi, Alex. And they're my best friends, and I love them so much. The last thing that happened was this year. My grandfather here today has been going through a rough time, and this was a hard thing for me to deal with. He was diagnosed with cancer. My grandfather is someone who chooses to see the positive side of everything, no matter what. Even after the news, he was still the most life-loving person I've ever met in my life. When I called to talk to him, I suspected that I would be the one to console him, but it ended up being the other way around. Seeing him, my grandmother, my aunts, and my cousins here today means a lot to me. I know it's not easy to come or convenient, so I thank you for being here, and I love you all. Lastly, to my parents. There's no words I can use to describe my gratefulness for sending me here. Both of you have contributed to the person I am today. You have given me the opportunity to seek a better education here. To my mom, I thank you for always having my back and never giving up on me, because I know I've messed up a lot. To my dad, I thank you for always seeing me as my own individual person with great qualities of my own. And I love you both. I look out to the crowd, and I also see alumni from my past years here at Leelanau. My freshman and sophomore year here, I had a rough time. I got into a lot of drama, and I had a lot going on at home. The people that helped me through those years I see here today, so it's only fair that I let them know how much I appreciate them. This specific group of guys took me under their wing and treated me as if I was their little sister. Seth, Dan, and Logan. I still talk to each of you, and you're still always there for me when I need you. You three took me in as your little sister and never pushed me away. No matter what I did, you guys stood by me, even when I was the one at fault. I thank you for teaching me the value of having a family to look out for you and show you unconditional love no matter what. I also look out to all of you underclassmen, and I know that many of you can't wait to be in the position where we are now, because I know I did. But here's the thing, nobody's perfect. Everyone is human, and this school will test you. It will test your ability to be tolerant, to be patient, and to be accepting. I look at you and I tell you that nothing will ever be perfect. Nothing will ever be exactly how you want it or how you pictured it. Just like you and me, the staff and the faculty make mistakes. Nothing they say or do may ever make sense to any of us, but at the end of the day, their reasoning behind it accounts for a lot. They do it out of love, out of kindness, not out of a hatred or a desire for us to fail. I encourage all of you to make mistakes, to challenge the system, to voice your opinions, because in the end, that's what will teach you the most about yourself. And there's really no safer place to do it than this campus. This school encourages you to question. It encourages you to advocate and challenge those around you.